say a state law need to be in place, but okay, you got the population issue, but we got to increase the adoption. We got to, and I think as mayor, and even as a candidate for mayor, we got to lead by example. What I would encourage everyone to do that's elected, to be encouraged to adopt one. But this is the big thing, and I'm gonna wrap up with this one. You got to ask your parents about this. Everybody ask your parents about this. When I was growing up, all the fire stations had a dog on top of the truck. So my goal is going to encourage firefighters, and it's just a policy by the administration. I'm going to change it, where every fire station can have 1 or 2 dogs there, because that's going to help with reducing that. I have horses. Y'all like horses? I'm a member of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Don't let this suit fool you. I'm a cowboy. I love boots and jeans. That's me. But we plan to do that with the fire department. But are you okay with your answer, man? Because I don't want to leave you hanging with anything. Last thing I need from you guys, listen to me carefully. Y'all know where Emancipation Boulevard is? Y'all ever heard of it?
No.
You know where downtown is?
Oh, yes, sir.
Downtown? Okay, you know where 45 is? Y'all have cars? I'm just surprised because when I was 50 before I got a car. I'm joking. But anyway, next Friday, this time next week, Ram will know how to get in touch with you. Do you have their contact information?
Yes, sir.
Next Friday, if you're interested, we're having our office camp. It is my birthday. It make me feel good. Y'all show up now. It'll be my birthday and campaign office opening. We have music, hot dogs, and all that, and we'll have opportunities for you to volunteer. Help put out signs or whatever we're gonna do. But it's more important to get you engaged. And what we will do is work with you. And like when I go to different events, we'll work something out if you don't have transportation. But I want y'all to get engaged. If you choose not to come, that's fine. But trust me, I owe you. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Paige. I'm Paige. I'm Paige Cromley, and I actually had a question for you.
You have a question?
I do. So, I mean this with all respect,
Okay.
but since you came in, you've made some comments that have made me a little bit uncomfortable. You've joked about dating some of us. You've pulled
Not dating you. I mean, that was an example.
You've pulled and singled out a few of the girls. You've told us to keep our legs closed, and then you didn't really answer the question about gender equality. So I was hoping you could expatiate, if you would, please.
I will, Kate. And let me say something to you, Kate. Thank you so much. Let me say something. You can have a seat. Let me be clear about what I started with. I did not mean to make anybody I made uncomfortable with my comments.
This one right here, very uncomfortable.
Okay. Let me say something. Let me apologize. Okay.
Actions speak louder than words.
Let me just tell you. Let me apologize for the comments. How many of you all understood what I was, whether you agreed or not, what I was saying and why I said it? Anybody?
We understood.
You understood?
I see where you're coming from.
Ma'am?
I see where you're coming
Yeah.
from.
Let me just tell you why. Because you guys are a unique group. You don't know what's out there. And I didn't know y'all like you guys didn't know me. I'm not going to miss opportunity to tell you what I'm seeing out here. That's all I was doing. I didn't mean to make anybody uncomfortable. Please accept that. Okay? And we'll talk about gender equality, but please, that's really important for me to know that you understand. It wasn't personal. It was trying to warn you guys what's out there. And when you get calls that, like I do at City Hall, where a young lady trying to decide if she's going to keep her baby or not, and she's 15 because her mama won't talk to her, won't own her anymore, those are heartbreaking stories for me. So from a humanistic perspective, when I see a group of bright young ladies and young men, I just want y'all to know what's out there. So do y'all understand? I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I just want y'all to know, as an elected official, I'm not going to lie to you, ever. Who asked the question about gender equality?
I did, sir.
Ask that part again, if you don't mind.
Very quickly, are you okay if more students come out to listen and ask me
What time?
a question? It is currently 3:04. Or did you have to go already?
No, hold on. I want to answer her question. And I can call the guy, because this has been interesting to meet you over here. I was going to meet someone at 3 o'clock. But let me answer this question.
there's a lot of inequality, and there's a lot of just a lot of racist.
Don't leave. I want y'all to get an answer. I want everybody to be on the same page, if you don't mind.
There's a lot of disparity and racist comments being made towards women that are degrading, that are putting people down, that are making young women feel like they should not be put in exalted positions, and that they don't belong in certain positions of power. They belong in other places, like the kitchen in my example, metaphorically and literally. And so, what would you plan to do in your campaign to help women feel like they should be in positions of power, and to help address and suppress all of the stigmas around women being just as powerful as men? Because we really want to see young women in positions of power. We believe that the hand that rocks the cradle can rule the world.
I agree. You want to add to that?
I guess mostly I was just talking about how I felt some of your comments or actions were inappropriate, especially with this new era and the world we want to see, where all women are treated with respect, and especially young women like us. A lot of us are young girls, and we want to see men such as yourself treat us with dignity.
If I may add, we would like to see more support in terms of maybe instead of keep your legs closed, just more better phrasing and better ways of putting things, because some people might find that really offensive. And whether it has to do with religion or personal beliefs, that should be kept out of the race for gender equality, because we want all women to know that they can be put into those powers of position.
I got you on that. Yes, ma'am.
Just to add on to what they were saying, when you said that women should keep their legs closed, I would just like to say you are not a woman. You do not know what it's like to be a woman.
Yes, ma'am.
You will never know. I mean, maybe you will if you decide to change your gender or whatever, but I'm telling you right now, as a 15-year-old, you do not know that, and hearing that come from you, someone who is of higher status and probably pretty respected, that's very degrading. That is very offensive, and that is
It's not what we want to see from our leaders.
yeah, not at all. I'm telling you that right now, just being honest.
No, I expect
My opinions.
And let me tell you, I respect that. Let me be real. If you knew me, you would understand where that came from. Let me tell you, I had no idea. I thought, this is what I thought. We were coming in, we were going to have a just sit down, straight up conversation. I didn't know the comments had to be tailored to where I could be aggressive.
If the comments have to be tailored,
hang on.
there's a problem.
I didn't realize that I would have this conversation, since we talk about a lot of things, and it appears like that's the only one thing that was being heard. And I didn't mean that, and that was an example. I was not saying anyone was doing. Let me say to you what that meant, and you can take out of here what you want with it, respectfully. I don't want nothing to happen to you. That's all that was. I don't want nothing to happen to you. And I will say it on TV before I let something happen to you. And all I was doing was responding to results. So please forgive me if you take it any other way. I didn't mean it that way. Can I hear from what she had to say?
Can I just quickly add something?
Okay.
You're telling the girls to keep their legs closed, but what are you telling the rapists?
Okay. Hold on one second, man.
I would like to add to them. Like these days, I've been seeing a lot of.
Can you speak up a little bit? Speak up.
So my name is Spring Dong, and these
can't
days
really
I've
hear
been
you.
seeing a lot of Instagram posts about feminists and about like men being very degrading and being like disrespecting women in that way. And there were also some ideas that were like, instead of telling women to like close their legs or telling women to dress a certain way to not attract attention, you should actually teach men to not be so disrespectful to women.
Yeah.
So, as if you were like a mayor, what would be something you could do about that?
And I guess that was part of our questions.
Remember the both questions that they were asked, the students will have to do a quick intermission. So you okay if we do probably like a 5-minute break? That way they can do that.
If I can answer this and then, because I want to make, and then I'll do that because I need to text you. Just let me respond. If that's okay. Let me be clear. if I would have known I thought I was helping. And apparently that one part of everything we talked about is sticking with you guys. Please, for me, overlook the leg part, because that was just an example. Understand what I was trying to make a point about. That I don't want nothing to happen to you. You don't have to agree with me. But I don't want nothing to happen to you. You guys are the future.
Might I add something real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
So I know you made an analogy earlier about the plane. That was awesome. So I'm gonna make an analogy. If you have a bathtub and there's water in it, and the bathtub is overflowing, maybe instead of trying to like take buckets and take the water out of the bathtub, maybe just turn off the faucet.
Yeah.
So instead of maybe only channeling, and I understand that you didn't mean it with any harm, so respectfully, instead of just telling the women keep your legs closed, the equality we're trying to see is you addressing the men who are acting inappropriately, you addressing the men who are overstepping their bounds, you addressing those white men that told me I need to be in the kitchen, you addressing the colored women who want to be maybe mayor in the future.
Absolutely.
And so instead of kind of addressing that way by talking about the women in a kind of
But I
degrading
want to
way.
be clear, because people walking in, I was not talking about the women. I was just trying to protect
Yes, sir.
young women
Yes,
from
sir.
what I see every day down in government.
And to
But-
do that,
and
maybe
I
address the
apologize.
men, sir.
Well, and I will.
So,
Sir?
I'm sorry, everyone. So, there's actually going to be an exchange of students. I'm sorry if your questions did not get answered fully. So, if those that are coming in right now, stay seated, and the ones that still haven't had a chance to answer the question on the other side, please feel free to start standing up and go over there. We're going to actually have exchange of students.
Well, Rand, the only concern I have, can I be honest with you?
Yes, sir.
I don't want them to walk out of here thinking that's what I am, and so breaking them up, which makes them think that that's what Councilman Boykins
no.
is.
So
No,
the
because
way-
they are great questions, and I want to be on the same page.
Yes,
with
sir.
them.
There are great questions, but like the way how we're having it set up is we're exchanging students. So students that were over there would like to answer your questions here as well, and then the students that were here, they also would like to go over there to ask their questions over there as well. So it's kind of like a swap right
No,
now.
I understand what you're doing, but I don't
If we
want
could
them
stay in
walking
here
out-
so he could
Yeah,
address
I-
her question
yeah,
about
I
the
don't want them
rapist.
walking-
Okay.
But that's your meeting. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want them walking out here thinking what they assume.
So the ones that want to go over there, feel free to go. The ones that still want to stay here and ask more questions, feel free to stay. Let me see, 'cause we actually have
So before I ask another question, I want to especially the young lady, because I don't know if her question. I want you guys to read. I want y'all to work with me. I want you guys to tell me some other things I've said in the conversation outside of, because I want to make certain we're on the same page.
And I,
Because she started with the question. Go ahead, man.
yes, and I do appreciate your comments that, you might not have meant it when you told us to keep our legs closed, but it wasn't just that they're off comment. It was also that the first thing you did when you came in was you pulled up a 13-year-old girl and you joked
Knowing
about
she was the
dating
youngest
her.
one there.
And she looked very
She looked-
uncomfortable.
yeah, pretty
and,
uncomfortable.
And then you
And-
pulled up me and you kind of squeezed me tight,
No,
which is not
look, y'all.
appropriate.
Let me be clear. I walked into the wrong group. I didn't know what I thought. I apologize. Because
Do
I
you say
walked
the
in.
wrong
hang on.
group because we are disagreeing
No,
with
no,
what you're
no,
saying?
no. I'm gonna tell you what I thought I was walking into. What I thought I was coming into was a group of young professionals. I knew y'all. I heard the IQ is at the chain. You guys are very well politically. Smart and doing well in class. I came in here with the mindset of young, because we get this all the time. I see your hand, sir. Political junkies. They want to be in a political scene, whether it's equal rights, whether a social issue, or some of this stuff that President Trump putting out anti or for, whatever the issues are. That's what I thought we were diving into, and it's the campaign season to have that conversation. I could have walked out the door and came back in with a different conversation and just said, okay, what's going on, y'all? What y'all want to talk about? And again, for the 30th time, 31st time, I didn't mean anything but trying to protect you all.
You still
And-
haven't answered my question.
I'm going to get to you in a second, ma'am. I'm just saying, my comments were to protect you all. And I'll jump in front of a car for my future. That's who I am. Yes, sir. Uh-huh. Thank you. If you don't mind, just so everybody can hear you.
Please, I can't hear you.
Okay. Sir, I understand that you said one thing is, I understand that you said that you wanted to protect women, and you want to prepare them.
I said our future.
Future. Okay, my bad. And then you said that you wanted to prepare women for what's out there in the real world, right, sir?
Yeah.
You said okay. Well, I think it would have been better if you clarified that, because if you clarified that you were gonna demonstrate, because you can't just pick somebody up and hold them that way. I'm not telling you what to do, sir, but if you just pick somebody up and hold them uncomfortably, and you don't specify what you're actually doing, they're gonna get the wrong. It's just natural reality.
No, that's
They're gonna
great.
get the wrong
That's some
idea.
good. That's some good advice.
That's exactly what happens, sir.
No, and that's some good advice. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I guess I'm sorry, I'm talking loud.
No. You helped start this conversation. I appreciate it.
You just said just now that you wanted to come in. You thought you were talking to a bunch of political junkies who would ask you
That's who.
about
No.
policy.
That's who they always invite us to come meet with.
Yes.
Young, progressive.
Respectfully,
And I
sir.
would argue that's what we are. And then you kind of turned the conversation a little.
Well, the initial question was, how do you plan to reduce the stigmas of women being basically subservient to men?
And from a city perspective, what you do is what I did as a council member.
Yes, sir.
I check. Well, remember, I'm not a state legislator. I'm not a federal congressman. From a city municipal perspective, what you do is bring in qualified individuals to prepare themselves to become future leaders.
Sir, from the people's perspective, completely aside from politically.
Sorry. So there's still 3 issues that we still have to talk about. Those being education, housing, and environmental.
Do me a favor. See that
Municipal
telephone
funding.
right there? Can you pass that to me real quick? Got somebody waiting.
In public transportation and school safety. So that being said, if you have a question regarding those issues, so remind me again, it was education, school funding, public transportation, school safety, and homelessness.
Excuse me, 1 second. No, go ahead. I just want to tell this person to meet me. Hey, Sheree, can you just meet me in the lobby up here? Because I have a group of wonderful students here and I just can't leave. Yeah, Western. Yeah. And just text me when you're here and I'll send someone named Graham to come out and get it from you. Okay. All right. Man, where'd you go? What'd you say? I'm sorry. I'm not going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
Councilman Boykins, my name is Carlos Duarte. I'm the Texas State Director. How are you?
I'm okay. I got in trouble with some of the students.
All right. Yeah. So I want to address this. I think this is an important opportunity. So one of the things that we have been discussing here is that we need to be claiming our space. So in the public discourse, in the public space, when we are interacting with one another, we sometimes fall out of line and say something that is offensive to the other person. When we started the conversation here with all of us, we said that we were going to assume good intentions from everyone. So I just heard, I was not here present, I just heard that Councilman Boykins made some comments that some people felt were inappropriate. So we're going to assume good intentions from him, but we're also going to turn this into a learning opportunity. So people that felt uncomfortable with the comments that he made need to stand up for themselves and for everyone else, right? And then address the issue and
They've done it. Trust me, they've done it.
And say you got to stop, and this is not appropriate,
Yeah.
right? So that is part of what we're trying to do here. You have a voice, you have power, and this is what happens in the public sphere. Okay, so I want to give, and again, because I was not here, I want to give people that felt uncomfortable another opportunity to address this directly with Councilmember Boykins.
Let me say this, Carlos. Thank you for those kind words, but they have done an outstanding job defending, and I give them a lot of credit for that. I really do, and I think they accept my apology. They knew I didn't mean it. I just love my future, and these young folk are our future, and I know what's out there. And what I did was came in representing a diverse district. We have a lot of youth issues, and when I saw these bright minds, I'm trying to protect them. And I made some I say it everywhere I go, to be honest with you. I was talking to them, and it's like water on a sponge. I thought they were soaking it up, but the water never went through because they were upset with what I said. And I respect that, I really do. But my initial was, yes, we got a future. And they're not in high school or college at a point, college where they can, because when I was at Texas Southern, I'm gonna say.
All right, so
real
let me
quick.
just reframe it,
Yeah.
and then let's.
Yeah.
So thank you for your apology.
Yeah.
So what I want to do then, if people are comfortable with this, I want to take 10 more minutes to go on to the next questions if people feel comfortable. Let me take that agreement.
We just had one more thing to say.
Okay, please.
Well, let me say this to you, if you don't mind. And I'm not taking from it. You three, if you don't mind, we can finish this, but I won't leave until the three of us sit down, or whoever you want. Don't you leave, okay, if you don't mind.
All right. Yeah, if there's
Is
still
that-
pending,
is that
if there's
okay?
still
Is
this
that okay,
sentiment,
ma'am?
I think this is more important than the questions that we have dealt with. So please address.
I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Thank you. And with all due respect, if you would like to protect your future, maybe instead of just addressing the women with the close your legs comment, if you do it everywhere, just
Okay.
maybe try to address everyone equally instead of singling individual people out, especially the youngest person in the room, sir.
Okay, can you do me one favor? Just so because social media and all that stuff is dangerous. They just walked in on part of it. Please be careful. I don't want them thinking the way it just came out, the way I did that. I want to be clear on the same page. And so everybody be on the same page. But I appreciate what you're saying. I really do. And my comment was.
Thank you, Chloe. Let's support Chloe.
Yeah.
with that.
Young lady, I think, were the four that spoke on those issues. And I'm glad they did, because I asked them, did anyone, because I know what I meant, right? Anyone made, I used to work at a university, and I caught freshmen coming in. You understand what I'm saying? So I was protecting them from these seniors and juniors. So that's kind of me. But I apologize, and I appreciate that.
Well, and I do want to take this moment as well to address the women in the group and the men. So for the women, we are getting into this Me Too movement, right? Me Too moment. And this is the time where women need to stand up and men need to stand up with women, right? Not for women, but with women. We are not going to be speaking for them. They are powerful, they have their own voice, and we're going to be standing with them. And this is one of the ways that we hold each other accountable, and we do not allow ourselves to be making comments like that. And when we do, then we immediately speak up so that that doesn't happen. Does that work? All right. All right, so in terms of time.
Yeah, so we are currently at 3:22, sessions at 3:30.
Okay, so we're gonna finish. This was the end of it. Please, you are welcome to stay and talk with Councilman Boykins. Everybody else needs to be doing what? Going back to that room? All right, so if people want to stay here with Councilman Boykins, I am going to stay here. The rest of you can go in. Thank you, everyone.
To the new
Final words?
Final words. To the new students, let me say to each and every one of you, good luck to you in your future. And I've said to the first class, you guys are our future. Make the right choice. I'm gonna be careful. Make the right choices in life, because there's a dirty world out there waiting on you. One thing I didn't mention, on every third Friday I go to, and this may not be comfortable, I'm just telling you who I am. I go to Cleveland State Penitentiary and visit with inmates, because those are human beings and they made bad choices. I'm the only elected official that go to visit with people in prison. So all I'm trying to do is protect, like a bear and a cub. So I'm sorry. I ain't gonna cross the line. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because I made some comments that was an analogy that was offensive. And I apologize. I'm big enough. I'm 6'4", 220 pounds. Big enough to apologize, okay?
Right.
But the world, you guys are our future, and I'm serious about that.
Thank you, Councilman Boykins.
No, thank you.
All right,
And anyone want
everybody
to
else-
stay, I'm gonna be here.
Everybody else goes in. You guys, yeah. This is the time. You can just go to that room.
You guys please enter through the other door over there and then walk
But if you
across
stay
the
with me, I
corridor.
promise I have a surprise.
All right. Yeah, everybody, we have our next guest coming in, so we actually do need to go.
Do I
That's
stay
it.
here or leave?
You know what? I'll walk you out, and then we'll see.
Well,
Is there something else that you want to address?
Yes, because
Yes.
my question was still not answered.
Okay, so let's go out with you,
Is the
me,
next
and
guest gonna
everybody.
come in this room?
No, they're going to that room. But can you receive Claudia?
Sí, Can I get everybody to button it up?
So let's turn off our phones because if he did, but he took several girls and he grabbed the smallest one in the room and he told us to turn off the recording. He automatically shoots.
All right, people, I need you in the other room.
Everybody
Our
needs to
next
get
guest
up
is about
and
to
get
arrive.
into the other room, please.
Am I gonna stay here?
Right now, so like I need to go.
Are you staying here? I'm gonna stay here.
Where's Leslie?
Leslie, check your
Did I? Yeah, when I was. I did not, but someone was taking pictures. I don't know, I got you said that you.
No, I had a phone that someone handed to me, but then this happened and I didn't take it. No, I did not. Okay.
No, we're all gonna be there. You are? Yeah, we're all gonna be there.
Don't leave. Yeah.
Where's Audra?
Let me, I can text you the guys. Because I don't know. I can do that.
So I have most of it recorded. Isn't it help? I felt like didn't it help him whenever he like initially said, please don't record? And maybe like, can you stay back with them or go? Because I'm gonna stay back with can you stay back too?
I need a favor. Can you remember this? Because my memory ain't that good. I'm going to give you a phone number.
He was talking about the
I'm not gonna cross the line. Don't worry, I have it.
I just think the way that
I have it all.
is exactly what you need to do.
And I have the video.
And that's exactly what you're promoting.
Ma'am.
Because y'all Melissa.
You like video?
I think he's being purposeful. Can I talk to you?
Let's just get. Because although he might.
Wait, stop.
We're missing a lot of girls. Early, right? Yeah.
Man.
What? They are here.
He was being purposeful.
As soon
He
as he, like-
taunted them at the end by saying, I'm not gonna cross the line.
So as soon as he came in, like the first thing we did was
Go ahead. I understood him up until the very end when he said, this is a form of taunting. When he said, okay, I'm not gonna cross the line, and then he came out and backed off. I had that on recording, but like, that's not the right. There's something about him. I'll say that.
I feel like he meant, and a lot of the way he did it was so wrong that whatever he meant was covered up in
I never have expected to be in a situation like
And
this.
that I think
Underlying
if someone touched me and we all were looking around the corner be touched.
you introduce the next guest speaker, and just take care of
keep your legs closed because we